X's and O's.
All right. So, Jimmy, we have a listener question that ties in perfectly with all the things you've been saying. So you want to get to that?
Yes, absolutely. And it's from one of my favorite cities, by the way, the gateway to the West from St. Louis. It says, hey, guys, love the show. Keep up the good work. And off to a good start with that email, by the way.
Jimmy loves it, by the way. If you're ever thinking of sending in feedback, which we love, Jimmy loves it when you start off with, hey, guys, great show. It's like,
and that dude with the beard, tremendo. Guapísimo.
Exactly. If
Guapísimo.
any compliment you can give Jimmy, give it to him.
Smooth skin. Such smooth skin.
I hear there's a filter for that. Maybe we'll fix that in post. Because the scotch and the cigars can only do so much for this beautiful face. So, hey guys, love the show. Keep up the good work. I've been smoking cigars now for over 5 years, and I've always wondered, is a Connecticut shade covered cigar always going to be mild? It always seems like they are mild to me. And if that's the case, is the opposite true? Meaning, is a Maduro always going to be strong? And that's from Arnold Jeffrey in St. Louis.
You misspelled Mr. Jaffe's name. You mispronounced.
Oh, Jaffe.
Jaffe.
My bad.
It's Arnold Jaffe.
Jaffe. My bad. Did I say Jeffrey?
You said Jeffrey.
Okay.
Sorry, Arnold.
Sorry, Arnie.
My man.
Are we like that already with Arnold? We're already at Arnie.
We haven't gone to the Scotch yet.
All right, Arnaldo.
He can be part of the Four Horsemen of with Arn Anderson. He can be Arn Jeffrey.
Oh, boy.
Maybe that's his wrestling name.
Could be.
St. Louis. Shout out to the 314. But anyway, so
How does he know all these?
It's bullshit. We have to fact check this guy.
Listen. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago, but I know
Area codes.
The 314 is St. Louis. So Arnold, it's actually a good question because, again, so what he's basically saying, Connecticut shade, is it always mild? Does that mean a Maduro is always strong? So I will leave it up to the experts. Doctor?
So, no, Ivan, we can talk about this, right? Because this is, like, right up your alley, right? You love when a cigar does that, like,
I'm just wondering what Arnie's been smoking. Because you'd run across some things that either aren't that mild on the light
we don't
side,
know
or
if Arnie's only been buying
who
online.
that's exactly. I mean,
if he doesn't walk into a tobacconist who kind of guides him in a direction, so we don't know. Let's give Arnie a break.
I always bring it back to wine. It's almost like in white wine, drinking like Pinot Grigio. Like I think those light Connecticut shade wrappers that don't have a lot going on, and I'm just gonna call them mild. I would compare it to like a Pinot Grigio. So if somebody only drinks Pinot Grigio or only smoke this type of cigar, I guess, then they wouldn't have, the palate tag or the experience of smoking something that has a little bit more kind of like this antaño.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, the majority of Connecticut shade cigars, are on the mild side.
Sure.
Right? And that's very simple because the more flavor and the more intensity you put into the filler, it overpowers the wrapper.
Right.
And so it's almost an economic issue, believe it or not, because this wrapper is very expensive. It's the most expensive tobacco in the whole cigar. So why put an expensive wrapper on top of something that's going to overpower it?
Right.
So that's the tricky part of this whole thing. So that's why normally Connecticut shade cigars tend to be mild. Not only that, but they also look mild. They don't look imposing like a Maduro, right?
Right, exactly.
Or a really juicy reddish brown
Un Colorado.
Then you're like, whoa, wow, that boy looks like he can put a whooping on me. So anyway, the mild, the Connecticut shade wrapper 9 times out of 10 will be a mild cigar, but in the case of this one and several others in the market, this is very much medium.
This is not a mild cigar.
No, not at all.
And at times, like as you get to the end of it, it may feel a little higher than medium, right? As you get to the last third of the cigar, that it starts to heat up, you may be thinking, "Oh, hey, hang on a second, this thing's got something."
And I don't know who picked the spirit selection for today's show, but I think it's going to go well.
Actually, I failed to mention that in the early part. That was also part of the idea. Okay, so we're going to do a medium-bodied Connecticut shade cigar. That's ideal for Scotch. That's like that Scotch territory, right?
Well,
by the way, blended Scotch.
If
we're drinking blended Scotch,
right.
not single malt Scotch.
If you're asking me, just breathing is a good reason to have Scotch. So
You're right. You're right. You know,
He's got so many favorites.
I should have said that. He's a Scotch guy.
He's a Scotch guy, of course.
It's my jam.
He's
That's
a rye
his jam.
Guy, a Scotch guy.
That's his jam.
Apparently not a tequila guy, but is a mezcal guy.
I've started to sort of turn. You know, hey, I'm an includer.
An includer.
I'm an
Okay.
includer.
Not a
Not a
colluder.
Or an intruder. I'm an includer.
Polluter.
No, well, maybe sometimes if I have too much Mexican food, I'm a polluter. So this cigar, I mean, again, it's not a buyer beware if you're used to if you're just picking a cigar because you say, oh, it's got that nice light Connecticut shade, it's going to be a nice suavecito. Just know, you're in for a little bit of a surprise. But again, the whole point of the cigar journey is for that experience.
It's that
to
surprise,
try something new,
Right.
and that's the one thing that I always say whenever people ask me about cigars. It's about experimenting and trying new things. You can always go back to what you like. I mean, that's never going to change. But if you can try something new, and that's part of what we bring to the table here on the Cigar Snob Magazine podcast, is to let you try new things.
And to bring it back to Arnie, on the opposite side of it, the most, I guess when I'm out in public or I'm have friends over at the house and I'm passing out cigars, they're all like, "Hey, listen, take it easy on me," and they all get scared when I pull out a really dark cigar, and they're like, "No, give me something that's easier." And it's that like predisposition that you have. It says dark equals strong.
Yep.
And again, I mean, it works both ways.
Not always the case.
It's not always the case.
So to answer his question, to answer Arnold's question, is so if you see a really dark wrapper, that doesn't necessarily, because we've had, really kind of Maduro looking wrappers that have been beautiful, have been nice and smooth and easy, something you can even have for breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but again, if you're looking at like a rule of thumb, Arnie's not too far off from a rule of thumb standpoint.
For sure. Rule
Like,
of thumb, exactly.
Yeah, if you really are scared of strong cigars, then don't go picking the Maduros off the shelf, right? Unless you go to your local tobacconist.
Exactly.
And you speak to them and you say, hey, look, I like that more flavor, the additional flavor that a Maduro brings, and that flavor intensity, but I don't want the strength. What do you think I could smoke? And he'll guide you to something that would fit that bill. There's plenty of that, just like there are plenty of Connecticut shade cigars that offer more of a medium strength. Harder to find a Connecticut shade that's full strength. Mm-hmm. You can make it, but nobody makes it because nobody would want it, right?
Right.
But in terms of like off the top of my head, other Connecticut shade cigars that are not exactly mild, you'd have the Oliva Connecticut Reserve. Mm-hmm. Kind of fits right in with the mild to medium strength. The Padron Damaso, right? That's a medium strength cigar.
Did you say Aganorsa, Connecticut?
Aganorsa, Connecticut's a great example. That's a good call because that cigar, it's actually maybe a little stronger than this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a Connecticut shade. So,
yeah. That's the one thing that
There's
I've
plenty
noticed.
of examples.
That I've noticed, especially that the Aganorsa line, that I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them are, no matter what their appearance is, they have some hair on them.
Yeah, they got a little more kick than most cigars. Yeah, on average across the line, it's more strength. Yeah.
So I love it. Well, listen, Arnold, I hope that answered your question. Thanks for being part of the show, and because you wrote us, and because we answered, what happens?
He's gonna get a Cigar Snob swag pack.
Woohoo!
That's right.
Yeah.
We just sent one out. I forget to the last. It's been it's been a long time since we recorded. But whoever that dude was last month that sent in a great question, we sent him his swag pack.
Whoever that was.
I can't remember.
In the 514 area code.
514, yeah. Shout out to the 514.
Like, I don't know what the area code that I live in, but I can definitely tell you that that what is it?
Now he doesn't know.
See now New York is 212.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, and 917. So.
And 646.
Okay, good.
Do it.
So I got another number for you. I'm going to do this in my best movie voice. The year is 1888. The year Villiger Cigars was founded, and the date that gave rise to the first handmade premium cigar to bear the Villiger name, the Villiger 1888. And now the two newest additions to the historic line, the new Villiger 1888 Nicaragua and the Villiger 1888 Dominican Republic. My favorite of the two is the Nicaragua. It delivered notes of roasted nuts, rich mocha, with a sweet caramel finish. A very complex smoke with loads of flavor. The Villiger 1888 Nicaragua is made at the Villiger de Nicaragua Villiger's newest factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. So if you're in the mood for either the Nicaragua or the Dominican Republic, go out and try either one of those Villiger 1888s today.
Nice.
So coincidentally,
Yeah.
the Villiger de Nicaragua factory is literally right next door to Joya de Nicaragua.
Joya de Nicaragua.
And they've got some sort of agreement there where they help each other out. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So that's total coincidence. But what do you got now, Jimmy?
Well, first of all, the area code in Esteli, by the way, is plus 505-71.
Shout out to the plus 505-71.
You love it. Listen.
That's very good.
Well, it took me a minute to find it on the old Google Monster, but we found it. Listen, we've got the great stick. It's time to get into some drinky drinks.
Thanks for watching Cigar Snob on YouTube. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy what you saw. Also head over to our YouTube channel to check out more exciting content. And also head over to cigarsnob.com where you can subscribe to our print magazine and receive it at home 6 times a year. Thanks again.